Hey, if you missed Tuesday night's game because Monday completely broke you, I've got good news. The Chicago White Sox won, and Lucas Giolito turned in an absolute gem. Gavin Sheets hit another home run, and the bullpen returned to form, giving up 0 runs in relief. The Sox are back, baby.
You are Locked On White Sox, your daily Chicago White Sox podcast. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Hey, Sox fans, welcome to Locked On White Sox. Thank you for making Locked On White Sox your first listen each and every day. We're free and available on all platforms. Follow us on Twitter and Instagram at Locked On Sox. Also, subscribe to our YouTube channel. Just search Locked On White Sox. I'm your host, Nick Morawski, a lifelong diehard Chicago White Sox fan, recording this podcast just blocks from the ballpark in beautiful Bridgeport. You can find me on Twitter at Nick_GGTB. Really appreciate you letting me steal some of your time to talk White Sox. Locked On White Sox is part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. Can Vince Velasquez help make it 2 in a row for the Sox? And what's going on with Tim Anderson? But first, there was drama on the South Side, but the White Sox thankfully get back into the win column. State of the Sox, they are 15-14 now, chasing the Twins by 3.5 games. Sox beat the Guardians on Tuesday night 4-1. Lots of drama once again. It was a warm night on the South Side. Guardians had runners on in the ninth, threatening. Felt like here we go again. Graveman was on the hill. Abreu fielded a dribbler to first, and he sprinted to the bag, and as he's been known to do, and does that baseball slide to try to get the bag with his foot before the runner can. The runner was called safe initially. It was reviewed and then overturned, and the Sox get the win. If it didn't go the Sox way, Guardians would have had bases loaded, and you just felt as a fan after Monday night, what can go wrong will go wrong. Thankfully, that went in the direction of the Sox, and they get a much-needed win after such a horrible, devastating Monday night loss. Lucas Giolito was just wonderful on Tuesday. We're going to talk specifics in a moment, but, starting pitching has been carrying the White Sox, despite the defense miscues, the errors, the injuries, the lifeless offense. Much like 2021, Sox starting pitching in 2022 has been wonderful. The last 7 games, here are some numbers. 38 2/3 innings pitched, 7 earned runs given up, 26 hits, 48 strikeouts to 12 walks. And coming into Tuesday night game, the starting pitching had a 1.63 ERA. Overall this season, White Sox starting pitching ranked 5th in the AL, 9th in all of baseball. And that was before Giolito took the hill. Gio, through 3 innings, great. Pitch count was in the mid 40s. Changeup looked to be very effective. Breaking ball was a little up in the zone, but nothing doing for the Guardians or the Sox. We'll get to Sox offense in a little bit. We'll fast forward to the 7th. Giolito still on the mound. He gave up a solo home run to Josh Naylor. Yes, that Josh Naylor, the same Josh Naylor that absolutely killed the Sox on Monday night. Is Josh Naylor the new Jose Ramirez? I don't think we're there yet, but it sure feels like it. Naylor so far has 9 RBIs in the series. Thankfully, it was just a solo home run from Naylor. But, there was some video that surfaced after Naylor's, big performance on Monday where he's jawing at fans and, puffing his chest and going crazy. I don't know exactly what Naylor was saying, and I don't know what the fans were saying to Naylor, but, you know what? If you want to stop videos like that, if you want to stop Naylor John back and celebrating, you have to get him out. And the Sox have not been able to in the first 2 games of the series. But after that home run in the 7th that Gio gave up, he came right back at Reyes and struck him out, gave up a single to Rosario, then threw a nasty changeup to Jimenez to strike him out and get out of the inning. I thought it was an outstanding job by Giolito not to let the hits pile up, the home runs to even pile up. Sometimes throughout this year, Giolito has given up home runs in bunches. We saw that specifically in the Angels game a while back. And it was a nice job by Giolito to limit just to, that one solo shot. He got back to work. He got out of the inning, and that was it. So ending the game for Giolito on a high note. He went 7 innings, gave up 6 hits, only 1 earned run, 1 walk, 5 strikeouts, and he's got his ERA at 2.70 through 91 pitches. It was such an important performance from Giolito because on Monday, we obviously emptied out the bullpen and was just hoping that Gio could go deep into the game, which he did. We did need some bullpen help. It was Ruiz, Souza, and Graveman. They gave up 0 earned runs. Ruiz and Souza combined actually for the 8th, and Graveman came in for the 9th. We're going to talk a little more about Graveman and his workload, where he's been recently. He went on record and made some comments before Tuesday's games about what's going on with him and, his pitching schedule. But he got the job done. There was drama, of course. It was starting to get a little chippy. And again, with runners on, nothing is safe now after what we witnessed on Monday. But the Sox get back into the win column. There was some offense that, we didn't get on the board early. A missed opportunity in the second, 2 on, nobody out. And Sheets, Pollock, and Engel all fly out. That could have been a nice opportunity to get Giolito some runs early on. Quantrill for the Guardians was throwing, and he had that Nick Pivetta stuff. If you watched any games during the Boston series, Nick Pivetta kind of mystified our White Sox hitters by throwing 94, 95 miles per hour, nothing fancy, right down the middle, and kind of rocked the White Sox offense to sleep. And that's what Quantrill was doing to our offense. Straight fastballs right over the plate, 93, 94 miles per hour. There was a base running blunder by Tim Anderson. No errors committed by Anderson, thankfully, in this game, but a bit of a base running blunder. If you were able to get an error while running the bases, I guess you'd give it to him. But TA stepped up with his bat. Talk about that in a moment. Sox finally got on the board in the 5th. Harrison had a double, and Anderson got a base hit. And then Sheets, who was the DH on Tuesday, the spot that he should be in, hit a 2-run bomb in the 6th. And that was coming off of a Jose Ramirez situation in foul territory where he could not make the catch and gave Sheets life, and Sheets made him pay. So that was great to see. Later on, Engel got on and was bunted over to second, and he scored on a Tim Anderson liner down the first base line. Anderson had 3 hits and 2 RBIs, which was awesome to see. And again, Engel was in right field. Yasmani was behind the plate, and it was great to see Sheets in the DH position, the spot he should be. So back-to-back nights with home runs. It's got to feel good for Gavin Sheets. I'm going to tell you why the Sox are doing more now so they can be fresh for the stretch run. More on that in just a moment. Hey, with spring in the air, it's time for renewal and growth, personally and professionally. As your small business grows, LinkedIn Jobs is here to make it easier to find the people you want to talk to faster and for free. Create a free job post in minutes on LinkedIn Jobs to reach your network and beyond to the world's largest professional network of over 810 million people. Then add your job and the purple hashtag hiring frame to your LinkedIn profile to spread the word that you're hiring so your network can help you find the right people to hire. Simple tools like screening questions make it easy to focus on candidates with just the right skills and experience so you can quickly prioritize who you'd like to interview and hire. It's why small businesses rate LinkedIn Jobs #1 in delivering quality hires versus leading competitors. LinkedIn Jobs helps you find the candidates you want to talk to faster. Did you know every week nearly 40 million job seekers visit LinkedIn? Post your job for free at linkedin.com/lockedonmlb. That's linkedin.com/lockedonmlb to post your job for free. Terms and conditions apply. Thank you for making Locked On White Sox your first listen. For your next listen, check out the Locked On Now podcast, recaps of MLB games with analysis from our local experts, taking fans through the season like no other network, free and available wherever you get your podcasts. So you've probably noticed as a Sox fan, and maybe just as a baseball fan in general, that managing the workload is a big deal. Going back to, my days growing up as a fan, thinking about specifically catchers and, Carlton Fisk and, maybe more in the recent past, AJ Pierzynski, and you feel like they just caught game after game. And, you go back and look at some of their numbers and, Fisk was moved around a little bit. There was a season where he played a lot of games in left field, had some DH moments, a little bit of first base. Pierzynski, he averaged 130 games a season with the Sox. I felt like he was just built to catch, rarely wanted a day off, every now and then had a spot at DH. So Yasmani Grandal has been working on, his load management, and you haven't seen him behind the plate quite a bit right now. And they're really trying to rest him. He had some leg issues in the offseason. They're trying to learn, I think, from mistakes and listening to what Grandal wants. And so Grandal has been DHing quite a bit. You've seen him at first base, watching him and his workload so he can be fresh for the stretch run. And it's really not just Grandal. Kendall Graveman has been working on some of this load management too. And this is from James Fegan, who made a comment about this post on Tuesday. James Fegan from The Athletic. He spoke to Kendall Graveman, said it's been a collaborative process to manage his usage over the season that both he and the training staff have had input on, including monitoring his pitch data to see where he's fatiguing. This is Graveman talking about what's been going on. I'm in there today, Graveman said, speaking of Tuesday night. There's no issues. I don't have any problems. It's just general, like, hey, we got to go get at it. Make sure we're being responsible and smart. TLR has been kind of close-lipped about what's been going on with Graveman lately. I think a lot of reporters, fans wondering over the last few games, where is he? Has he been hurt? Are they just not wanting to admit that he's been hurt? And it sounds like it's all a matter of, monitoring how often he's being used, and it's managing the workload. So the Sox are fresh for October. Now, of course, you got to get there first. It feels like it's definitely a sign of the times in a lot of different sports of just managing during this grind. So you've got your stars ready to go when it matters, when it comes to playoff time. So good to see Graveman get in Tuesday's action and was effective for the Sox. Are you still thinking about Monday as a fan? I know I am. I don't want to talk too much about it, but it was just one of those games that I couldn't shake from my brain all Tuesday long. And I just one of the reasons why Tuesday night was such an important game for the White Sox, they had to have a short memory. They had to get back out there and get into the win column. You didn't want a game like Monday to create, a snowball effect. And thank you so much to Lucas Giolito for putting in the performance that he had. There were some silver linings from Monday's debacle. Kopech had such an outstanding effort. His ERA is 0.93. Wow. AJ Pollock swung the bat well. He flexed some power. Joe Kelly coming back with the White Sox, impressive in his small sample size. And Sox offense scored 9 runs. They were averaging 3.3 runs a game. So there were some good things going on, but it's really, it's been tough to defend the defense that the Sox are throwing out there. You can't blame La Russa, the weather, injuries. I mean, the Sox are a Major League Baseball team that have World Series aspirations, and they've committed 26 errors in 28 games, which leads the majors. TA had 10 errors in all of 2021, and he's already at 9 after committing 2 in Monday's game. He spoke about it, and this was Tim Anderson's quote. I'm sure you have read it and heard it, but this was from Tim Anderson prior to Tuesday's game. Of course, we want to make all the plays. It's not like we're out there intentionally trying to F things up. We've just got to be realistic and understand we're playing a tough game. All we can do is try to get better. I'm sure everybody's had a bad day at work. Yeah, everybody has had bad days, and we're usually told, if you don't improve, don't let the door hit you on the way out. That's usually how it goes. The problem is that, this isn't just one bad day for the Sox defense. And in Anderson's case, I mean, these defensive problems have been seemingly getting worse season to season. Anderson is not a rookie. He's been in the league since 2016. I get it. He is frustrated. It's just odd. I don't know if he can pinpoint it. I don't know if La Russa can pinpoint it. It's, throwing, it's fielding, a lot of throwing, which, the throwing has been a problem for Anderson through the years. But, to be at 9 errors already, and you only committed 10 all of last year, that's a red flag. You can't out hit your defensive problems. And, the offense is going to spike. The offense is going to get hot. These White Sox hitters, we're going to be seeing more than just 3.3 runs per game. But when you're committing that many errors, you're really taxing the pitchers. I mean, they're having to throw many more pitches, and you just feel like at some point things are going to break. You can hold on eventually, and things are going to come crumbling. And that's what happened on Monday. So Tuesday's win, you got lockdown bullpen and 0 errors committed by the defense and excellent starting pitching. Once again, that's the recipe. Pretty simple. I know it's difficult to do and replicate, but hopefully we'll see, some of that from Velasquez on Wednesday's day game. A couple Sox players took an early batting practice, though, on Tuesday. I'm going to tell you why that is big news. More on that in a moment. Hey, summer is coming, and with summer, you're going to need some food on the go. Built Bars are the perfect snack to take with you on family vacations. Throw them in your bags and your kids' backpacks. Make sure that everyone has a bar so you're fueled for your summer adventures. The best part about Built Bars, they're healthy and delicious. No more sacrificing delicious food for health. With Built Bar, you can have both, and it's easy. All you have to do is go to Built.com and order now. All Built Bars and Puffs are covered in 100% real chocolate. That means with Built Bar, you can eat healthy and actually enjoy doing it. Have you tried the Built Puffs yet? They come in crazy flavors like banana cream pie and even churro. Who doesn't want a protein bar that tastes like a churro? And they're only 140 calories. If that's not enough flavor for you, then you might want to try the Mixed Box. The Mixed Box comes with 12 flavors of bars and puffs. Most Built Bars contain 130 calories, 4 grams of sugar, 4 net carbs, and 17 grams of protein. Compare that to a candy bar, which usually has around 240 calories, 30 grams of sugar, and dozens of net carbs. Go to Built.com to get all your favorites: banana cream pie, raspberry, double chocolate, and so much more. They're all delicious, and new flavors are coming out all the time. Go to Built.com, use promo code LOCKED15, and get 15% off your order. Use promo code LOCKED15 for 15% off at Built.com. So we've got some good news for Andrew Vaughn and Eloy Jimenez. Andrew Vaughn took some batting practice on Tuesday at Sox Park. Then he was on his way to Charlotte for a rehab stint. Hopefully it's a short rehab stint. The hand feels good, and there's no lingering effects when he's making some contact. and we get him back in the lineup soon. Eloy Jimenez took batting practice on Tuesday, and this was from Scott Merkin from MLB.com. Jimenez said he was walking the same day he had surgery, but he still is a little pleasantly surprised how quickly he's recovering. And Jimenez said, hopefully I'll be back sooner rather than later. Obviously, White Sox and Rick Hahn have the final say on that, but that's outstanding news. It was originally 6 to 8 weeks, and stay tuned. Hopefully we'll get some more information, but that's awesome. Vince Velasquez is going to go for the Sox on Wednesday afternoon. Can he make it 3 solid starts in a row? He's allowed only 1 run in 10-plus innings of work in his last 2 starts. And did you see this? There were some new promotions announced by the Chicago White Sox. They tend to do this every season. They make their big announcements of all the stadium giveaways, the promos and everything. It gets you excited to buy tickets. And then as the season goes on, they announce more promotional items that they're going to drop. And I'm convinced that they're not done. I bet you there's going to be more promos that'll be dropped later, maybe midsummer. But head on over to the website to get the full details. A couple ones that popped out. July 30th, they're going to give away a Mini Minoso Hall of Fame replica plaque. They did this for Harold Baines when he went into the Hall, and they did it for Frank Thomas years ago when he went into the Hall. So not surprised that they're going to give Minnie Minoso that treatment. Pretty cool. That is Saturday, July 30th. And then August 13th, a Lance Lynn bobblehead. Hopefully he is back and performing well already in the rotation. Hope to get him back in June. So hopefully by August 13th, he's rocking and rolling. But yeah, Lance Lynn bobblehead on August 13th. Hey, thanks for making this podcast part of your daily routine. You can find the Locked On White Sox podcast everywhere you find podcasts. We are on Twitter and Instagram at Locked On Sox. You can find me on Twitter at Nick_GGTB. Thanks for making Locked On White Sox your first listen. Now make your second listen Locked On MLB with Paul Francis Sullivan. Just call him Sully. Brings you his unique perspective on the major leagues past and present. It's free and available wherever you get your podcasts. Coming up on the next episode, we'll recap Game 3 of the Cleveland series, and hopefully we'll be celebrating another great Velasquez outing. Appreciate you making Locked On White Sox your first listen each and every day. I'm Nick Morawski. Until next time, go Sox.